This video is over area of rectangles and parallelograms. Before we do that, let's look at our number routine. This is a triangle. Prove to me that these three sides will form a triangle. Let's see. Let me get my pen. I'm circling two of the smaller sides. If I add up the two smaller sides, it must be greater than the third side. So if you add 5 and 5/10 plus 8 and 5/10, that's 14 and 0/10, which is greater than 10 and 9/10. Here's another one. Which angle do you believe, let me get a highlighter. Which angle do you believe is the largest interior angle? Which one is the largest interior angle? This one, or this one? It is this one, I believe. Yes, you can tell it's much more wide. It's almost like an obtuse angle. I believe it is. Which side is the longest side? It's this one. So do you notice how opposite of the largest interior angle is the longest side? All right. So you are going to be given a sticky note. You will fold your sticky note in half. Then you will measure the base and the height of your sticky note in inches. This would be 3 inches, and the height of the sticky note would be 1 5/10 inches. What is the area of this rectangle? To find area of a rectangle, it is base times height. In 5th grade, you may have learned it as length times width. The base is 3. The height is 1 5/10. If you multiply the base and the height, you'll get 4 5/10 inches squared, or squared inches, because inches times inches is inches squared, or square inches. So with your second sticky note, you're going to have another rectangle. You're going to cut along this line right here. Then you're going to, it was right here, so you cut along it, then you're going to translate it to the right side. So it's a rectangle. You cut off a right triangle from it, and then you translate it on this side. What we just did is we decomposed a rectangle. In other words, we broke down a rectangle and formed a parallelogram. Hence, this is a new type of quadrilateral, a four-sided shape. So we started with a rectangle. We cut off the rectangle and we slide it on this side. Now it is a parallelogram. And what makes a parallelogram? A parallelogram has one set of parallel sides, then another set of parallel sides. So it has two sets of parallel sides. So a rectangle also has two sets of parallel sides, hence it's a parallelogram, but also this is another type of parallelogram. So measure the base and height. So let's think about it. If this is the rectangle, if I cut it here, would the base still be the same? Yes, it would be. It would be 3 inches. And did the height change? No, it did not. So it's still 1 5/10 inches. So what is the area of this? So to find the area of a parallelogram, it's also base times height. So it's 3 times 1 5/10 is 4 5/10 squared inches. So the area of a parallelogram is the blank of a rectangle. Does it look like the same to you? It does to me. So the area of a parallelogram is the same as the area of a rectangle using base times height. So to find the area of a parallelogram, you use the formula of area equal A equals BH. A stands for area. B stands for the base or the bottom, and H stands for the height. So this is a mathematics formula chart. So I highlighted what we're learning today. Area of a rectangle parallelogram is A equals BH, or base times height. So in this video, I don't think you're going to be able to hear it, but I press play. No trouble, I'm all about that bass, no trouble, I'm all about that bass, no trouble, I'm all about that bass, because you know I'm all. So the song was a very, very famous song several years ago. It's all about the bass. So if it is all about the bass, locate the base of this parallelogram. Let's see. Could I turn it around? So let me use my highlighter. The base is right here. So if I turn it around again, so the base will be 21. The base equals 21. What would the height of this be? Think about when you measure your height, when your parents put you along the door jamb, the door threshold, and they make you stand straight up, and then they get a pencil, and I don't know if your parents did that, and they measure your height throughout the years, and you can see your growth. The height is you have to stand straight up. So let me use a different highlighter. The height is this. So the height equals 12. 17 is a junk number. It's to trick you. People will always use it, thinking, I have to use it. I have to use it. No, you don't. Not for this one. We just want to find the area of the parallelogram, so it's base times height. So a parallelogram has a base of 6 meters and 3 meters high. Write and solve an equation to determine the area of the parallelogram. So we know the B, our base, equals 5, and the height, or H, equals 3. So if you're given this parallelogram formula, area equals base times height, I replace or substitute the base with 5, and I substitute or replace the height with 3. 5 times 3 is 15. And what are the units? Meter. 15 meters squared, or 15 square meters. So let me get my pen now. In this example, this is a parallelogram. What is the base? The base is 8 centimeters. It's the bottom of it, as I think about it. What is the height of it? How tall or high is it? Would it be 4 centimeters, 10 centimeters? Think about it. If you measure your height, you're standing straight up. This is a junk number, so 4 centimeters. Write and solve an equation to determine the area of the parallelogram. So it's A equal base times height. I replace the base with 8. The height is 4, so area equals 32 centimeters squared. What is the base? 15 centimeters. What is the height? Stand straight up. Height is 5 centimeters. I'm going to scratch this out. So write and solve an equation to determine the area of the parallelogram. Area equal base times height. So base times height. That's 15 times 5 is 75 square centimeters. Number 3. A flower garden at an amusement park is planted in the shape of a parallelogram. The base is 15 4/10 yards long, and the height of it is 8 3/10 yards. Write and solve an equation to determine the area of the parallelogram. So to find area of parallelogram, you multiply the base and height. What number is the base? 15 4/10. The height is 8 3/10. Ooh, let's have to multiply this. Do we still remember to multiply? So we multiply as normally. Imagine it's just 154 times 83. So we're multiplying the tenths place by the tenths place. So our answer has to be in the hundredths place. You have to move the decimal 2 over once you answer this. 3 times 4 is 12, carry the 1. 3 times 5 is 15, plus 1 is 16, carry the 1. 3 times 1 is 3, plus 3 is 4. Placeholder. 8 times 4 is 32, carry the 3. 8 times 5 is 40 plus 3 is 43. Carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. If I add this up, I get 12782. But will the decimal go between the 8 and 2 or the 7 and 8? This is the 10th times 10th, hundredths place, so it goes in the hundredths place. Again, we could estimate. 15 times 8 is 120. 127, 82, 100 square yards is a great answer. So number 4, to find the area of the parallelogram, this is how Tasvia solved the problem. Did Tasvia answer this question correctly? If not, write and solve an equation to determine the area formula. So what she did, she multiplied the base and the height. Actually, I don't see anything wrong with this one. If not, write and solve. Did she answer? Well, she didn't. Oh, she forgot to solve it. So, of course, she didn't do that great of a job. So, let's solve it for her. If you multiply 16 by 18, that's 8 times 6 is 48. Carry the 4. 8 times 1 is 8 plus 4 is 12. Placeholder. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 1 is 1. It is 288 squared meters. And last but not least, the area of this parallelogram, so the area of the whole inside part is 72 square inches. The height is 3. What is the base? Oh, they forgot to tell us this number. Write and solve an equation to determine the missing link. So area equal base times height. So we know the area is 72, so replace the area with 72. We know the base, we don't know. We know the height is 3. So how do you solve this? We know how to solve this. We spent almost 3 weeks on this. I need to isolate. Let me use a different pen color. We need to isolate this base. What is the inverse of, or the opposite operation of times? Divide. So we divide by 3, divide by 3. Just cancel. We balance it on the other side. So the base equals 72 divided by 3. 2 times 4 times. Base is 24 inches. To check our work, if you multiply the base and the height 24 by 3, you'll get back 72 inches squared. So what we just learned is how to find the area of a parallelogram or rectangle. You multiply the base by the height, and you'll find the area.